never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred, it's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love
banana.
A cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English bit.
Salad, fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa. I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
They say they ain't heard nothing like this in a while. That's why they play my song on so many different dials. Cause I got more hits than a disciplined child. So when they see me, everybody barack. Man, I'm like a young gun, fully barack. I cry teardrops over the massive attack. I only make hits like I work with a racket and back. Look on my jacket and hat, slow down berserk, slow down to earth. I'm bringing gravity back, adopted by the major. I want my family back. People work hard just to get all their salary tax. Just a writer from the ghetto like Mallory Black. Man, where the hell's all the sanity at? Damn, I used to be the kid that no one cared about. That's why you have to keep screaming till they hear you out. When we hit, we never took cause we needed a change. I needed a break. For a sec, I even gave up believing and praying. I even done illegal stuff and was needed a strain. They say the money is the root to the evilest ways. But have you ever been so hungry it keeps you awake? Mate, now my hunger will leave them amazed. Great, it feels like a long time coming. Since the day I thought of that.
Yes, indeed. It feels like a long time coming. Same time, same place. ABN Radio UK, London's Afropolitan Station. Look, we don't disappoint, do we? This is Sports Link Up Africa with me, Kente, Kufuor. And I've got with me in the studio. Trust me, the studio is packed up today. I've got with me in the studio. To my right-hand side, I've got Manny, Sarpong. Manny, very good afternoon to you.
Very good afternoon. Pleasure to be here.
Oh, so mine. And also to my left-hand side, I'm my African sports expert and also my Premier League expert, Mr. Ahmed Osman. Ahmed, a very good afternoon to you, mate.
Good afternoon, Kente.
Right, I'm coming up on the show today. We shall be bringing the curtains down on the 2007-2018 Premier League this afternoon. But the question I've got for both Tottenham and Liverpool fans, who is going to get up for position, who is going to qualify for the Champions League for next year? Which team is going to come up with Manchester United? We've got Manchester City, and also we've got Tottenham Hotspur. Is it going to be Liverpool, or is it going to be Chelsea, or even is it going to be Tottenham? And also we shall be talking about which of the teams is going to join West Bromwich Albion and also Stoke City down into the Championship. Is it going to be Southampton, or is it going to be Swansea City? Manny Sarpong will be bringing us the latest on boxing, athletics, and especially the Shanghai Diamond League that started last Friday. Also, Ahmed is here to bring us up to date with we're going to do a countdown on the World Cup. Yes, believe it or not, the World Cup is just around the corner. Russia 2018 starts in June. The Premier League's over, so do you know what to expect, isn't it? The World Cup is coming thick and fast. So Ahmed is going to do a countdown with all the teams that have qualified for the World Cup. But he's going to start with Egypt today. All this and more coming up right after this. Keep locked in.
Mix
Mixpiration with Bright every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is just fun. It's exciting. It's a mix of contemporary R&B and pop gospel music right here on ABN Radio. Enjoy great tunes every Sunday evening with Bright on Mixpiration. A blend of great inspiring songs just for your Sunday evening relaxation. Tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. This and every Sunday on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. Tune in to the new ABN Breakfast Show from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The London City Show has evolved into an all-new breakfast show with sizzling slices of juicy newsy current affairs served with junior jumbo-sized convos on issues you should be aware of. What did I just say? The ABN Breakfast Show, the Afropolitan breakfast you can't afford to miss.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Yes, indeed. Welcome back into the studios of ABN Radio UK. Very good afternoon to you. Thanks for your company. If you just joined us, I would like to hear from you. Join in the conversation by giving us a call on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 6707 300. You can even WhatsApp or text us on 0788 7475940. I know a lot of people are trying to get hold of me. The text messages are coming in. Yeah, keep it coming in. As the show goes on, I will try and read a couple of the text messages. But look, let's jump straight into the show. To the Manny, a very good afternoon to you once again. Look, there are two issues to be resolved today in the final day of the Premier League. Both Liverpool and Chelsea are hoping to claim the last for Champions League qualification. How do you see that going?
Well, at the moment, as things stand, it looks like Chelsea have not really. They more or less just sealed their own fate. They're not doing themselves any favours. Obviously, coming into today, we needed Chelsea to be able to win their game and hope that Liverpool take a loss. But unfortunately, they're not doing themselves any favours away to Newcastle. And it's not looking good for Chelsea as things stands.
So as things stands, what is the score at the moment, Manny?
As things stands is 2-0 to Newcastle against Chelsea, which means that Chelsea would need 3 goals in the next 30 minutes to win that game. And of course, Liverpool have absolutely beaten Brighton. It's 3-0 against Brighton over there. Liverpool are cruising to victory on that one, and Mo Salah got that all-important goal to take him to the leading goal scorer of the Premier League era.
I mean, let me come to you. This afternoon game, like Manny rightly said, Chelsea are losing to Newcastle. How important was the game for Chelsea? They needed to get a win if they stand any chance of getting into the top 4.
Well, Kente, we knew what they had to do. They didn't do it. The body language of Conte at St. James's Park hasn't been encouraging. The players' performance hasn't been encouraging. Their best player hasn't been encouraging once again. And you know, we've been mentioning a lot, without Hazard, Chelsea are a very average side. Newcastle, you can't doubt their quality up front. They have a very fast and youthful front two of Perez and Gale, and they've been very troublesome for the defence of Chelsea, but they still relied on Liverpool to mess up against Brighton, but they have been absolutely lightning. 17 goals, 17 chances against Brighton in the first half is just incredible. It's been all the way Liverpool, and they've been, in my opinion, the best attacking side in Europe this season. Yes, indeed, they've been the best attacking side in Europe at the moment. Just like Manny said, I think Manny made mention that Newcastle was up 2-0, but there has been a goal, isn't it? Manny, it's 3-0 against Chelsea.
Yes, of course. When we were coming into the final day, we're hoping that it would be 3-0 against Liverpool and 3-0 for Chelsea. For any Chelsea fans that were wishing that things would go their way. But unfortunately, it's gone the other way round. It's now Newcastle 3, Chelsea 0, Liverpool 3, Brighton 0. So right, let me just quickly... are absolutely being a complete disappointment on the last day of the season. All right, Manny, thank you very much. Let me just quickly bring the dear listeners up to date with what's happening. Manchester City, obviously, they've won the Premier League. They've got 98 points. Man United, 81 points, sitting pretty on second position. Tottenham Hotspur, 77 points on third position. And Liverpool, 75 points on fourth position. I mean, we're all hoping that maybe one of the London clubs, Chelsea, will probably win to this afternoon's game. But at the moment, like Manny and Ahmed said, they are losing 3 goals to 0 against Newcastle. Manny, let me ask you,
This game, I mean, Chelsea going into this game, they were supposed to get a win to try and get them into the top 4, into the big league, the elite league, Champions League. That's all these big teams would like to be. But now Chelsea, they've got their last chance of silverware in FA Cup. If Conte loses that, do you think his job will be at risk?
To be fair, win or lose, Chelsea have already made that decision. From Conte's body language, as Ahmed was rightfully saying earlier on, his whole body language has been negative. When you watch the press conference against Huddersfield after the game press conference, he seemed like he was very dejected. He's a man that his fate has already been sealed. He's on his way out. It's just whether or not he gets to claim a last silverware, go out with a bit of a bang. He's gonna be out at the end of the season.
Yeah, basically what he said, I think Antonio Conte, in terms of comparing the two managers from last season and this season, the Antonio Conte of last season, very energetic, very moving on the touchline. He wants his players to attack and to pressurize, and he's a man of passion. We all know what he's been like in the past couple of seasons. This season, as soon as they've been tracking Tottenham and they haven't been able to get close to them, they've been nowhere near Tottenham and Liverpool until the last stages of the season. He hasn't been there. He hasn't been moving. He hasn't been given that passion and energy to the players, or tactically even. I'm a bit disappointed with him. I don't think he wants to stay at Chelsea after the season. I think he's had an eye on going back to Italy or the Italian national team, and I think the feeling is mutual between board and manager. I don't think Conte wants to stay at Chelsea. I don't think Chelsea want Conte as their manager next season. I mean,
Manny, let me come to you. Would you blame Conte for leaving?
No, of course not. The thing is that Conte is a very good manager. Things have not gone right for him this season. I think he invested a lot of his time into Morata, and he put a lot of faith in him. And for me, I said Morata was not the man. He was not a 20-goal Premier League striker. He just didn't cut it. He's not a Diego Costa. It's unfortunate what's happened with Chelsea and Diego Costa, but they were missing that centre forward, and they needed a Matic as well. They let Matic go because he wanted to join Mourinho, and they just didn't recruit very well. It was all about recruitment in the summer for Chelsea. They didn't recruit very well. The players that came in have let him down. Conte, no doubt, is a fantastic manager, and I would love to have seen him get another season at Chelsea to see what he can do. I would love to see him get a bit more time for him to try to right the wrongs that didn't go according to plan this season. But he won the Premier League in his first season, and I think he's a fantastic manager, and he should have been given more time. But unfortunately, this era in this Premier League, you don't get that time. Chelsea, how many times have we seen managers just being axed by Roman Abramovich for menial things? Unfortunately,
they're running out of world-class managers at this rate.
I don't even know who's going to be next, and whether or not that Chelsea team can actually be saved as it is.
Yeah, I think he 100% correct from Manny over there. Transfer policy has been absolutely disgraceful. They haven't backed their manager. I think Conte wanted Lukaku. He did end up getting Morata because I don't think the board wanted to buy Lukaku. I think Man United beat them to it, and that's the difference. I think Mourinho has the backing of his board and his owner, and I don't think Conte has that at Chelsea. They bought Barkley, who in my opinion isn't even fit enough to start for Chelsea. He hasn't hit form. He hasn't hit form for Everton. So why would you buy him in a bit of a shock in the January transfer window? So that was slightly strange. Kante, in my opinion, has been their star player. He's been their star player for the last 2 seasons. He's been, in my opinion, the top 5, one of the top 5 Premier League players in the past maybe 3 years now since he's come to Leicester. He's been consistent. He's been the only reason they haven't finished lower than they have right now. And I think without Kante, it could have been a bit embarrassing for Chelsea this season. Yes, indeed.
If you want to join in the conversation, you can give us a call on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300. You can even WhatsApp or test us on 0788 74 75940. Guys, let's quickly shift our attention to the bottom side of the league, the basement side of the league. West Brom is gone. Stoke City is gone. It looks like Swansea City is going to go. Like, look, so
we all knew that before we came in. Let's be honest.
I mean, Swansea City, Manny, are they architect of their own downfall?
Well, yeah, they are, to be honest. I think Swansea is not just down to this last game. They've had 37 other games to try to save this season, and they haven't. They had a very crucial, should we call it, relegation decider against Southampton, and it didn't help themselves. And today, it seems like it's ironic that their last game's against Stoke, because Stoke's been relegated, have absolutely nothing to play for.
Yeah.
But it's almost as if Stoke is saying, if we're going down, we're taking you down with us. And so Stoke are actually up on 2-1 at the moment as things stand. And Swansea are not even been able to get a win at home against a relegated Stoke when they needed it the most. That just goes to sum up their whole season. It's been absolute shambles, because I actually like Swansea as a club.
Yes, indeed.
I like the idea of having a Welsh club in English Premier League. I do actually like that. It's good to go out to Wales, for a Premier League game.
We could have had two if they stayed up. Cardiff and Swansea.
It looks like they might be coming up. So it's shameful, but they've been the architects of their own downfall.
Right. Listen, if you disagree with Manny Sarpong of having a Welsh team in the Premier League, considering the fact that London clubs will be travelling all the way to Cardiff to play a Premier League game, the fans will be suffering. So if you disagree with Manny, give me a call on 0208 1917 Ahmed, let me come to you, Ahmed. Swansea City.
Yeah.
They got some big stars in the club on the payroll. Talking about the Ayew brothers, Jordan Ayew, and Andre Ayew, all these big stars, all these big names. They are going to go to Championship. You don't see these players playing the Championship. They will find a way out.
No, I don't think Jordan Ayew, I don't think the Ayew brothers, both of them would want to play in the Championship. I think they're going to have to rebuild and possibly sell them, and then try to strengthen all round, maybe in the defence and the midfield area. They haven't been good enough. You can't come into the last 5 games of the season and say, okay, we're going to try really hard now. Everyone's going to start appearing, and we're going to have sold out stadiums. No, it's a 30-game season for a reason, and the teams that do best in this league do it throughout the 38 games. And we see it year after year. The teams that always end up going down, they don't end up being consistent enough in terms of winning. There's a lot of draws, there's a lot of losses. You need to win in this in the Premier League and to stay up. And I think Southampton have found the results when they needed it most against Swansea away. That was a more difficult game for them than it was for Swansea. And if you don't beat Southampton at home in a game that basically summarizes your whole season, then you don't deserve to stay up. And I think Carvajal has done a great job. I just think he's been a bit unlucky that he came in a bit late in the day and wins against Liverpool, the best attacking side like I said in Europe. It shows how good a manager he is. He just didn't get enough time, in my opinion.
I mean, talking about how good a manager Carlos Carvalho is, there have been rumours coming out of Liberty Stadium that he's probably going to leave the club at the end of the season.
That's a bad move.
That's a bad move, isn't it?
In my opinion, that's a bad move. He showed that he's able to keep the defense tight. He's got the players to put maybe 7-8 players behind the ball and then attack with the Ayew brothers. I don't think, like I said, the Ayew brothers will be there next season, so they're going to have to strengthen, get some speed in the team, because they haven't got that other than the Ayew brothers. I think maybe Jordan Ayew has that a bit more than Andre. So maybe try to keep Jordan. Try to convince him. I don't think him. I
don't think Jordan will like to play the Championship. I mean, look, if you ask me, I'll probably say the Championship will probably suit his game. He'll probably go back to the Championship, learn it straight, and come back to the Premier League. But looking at the way the two of them look, I'm not here to judge them, but I don't think I don't really see them playing the Championship. But I think the agent will find them another club.
Who would want them?
That's a very big question.
Premier League, who would want them? Because they're now part of an attacking duo that have just been relegated. So are they scoring enough goals? Are they creating enough goals?
Well, someone can argue to that, because if you got some of there you go, because you got some of these clubs that are coming into the Premier League, Cardiff City, and them lot, they'll easily take them.
Let's not forget that. Let's not forget Jordan Ayew was actually voted Swansea's best player of the season. I mean, that's not saying much.
That's not nothing to be proud of.
But he, like they say, in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man is kin. He was kin.
Typical Manny. Go on.
He was kin.
Well, they have even put, okay. You can tell me more than me because both of you are Ghanaian, right?
Yeah.
You can tell me have they even performed on an international level? Because last time I checked,
superstars.
Really?
Yeah, superstars.
No,
I disagree with Manny on that. I don't think they've played to their full. I don't think they played to their full potential for the Ghana national team.
Okay. Let's keep in mind that they did take us to the African Cup Nations,
left alone the World Cup.
And we lost.
I'm talking about this season. This season, Ghana
itself as a nation hasn't really been that. We've not. Played
and that's because their star players haven't performed.
They haven't performed.
And some of our star players, Jordan Ayew and Andre Ayew.
But you can't deny the talent that these boys have. They are fantastic.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah, 100%. They will walk into any bottom club, any of the bottom low. I would say the top bottom, 10 bottom clubs in the Premier League.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with you.
And they'll be able to get on the first.
And that's why we're criticising them, because they have the talent, and they're they're two of the most talented players that we have in Africa.
I think the criticism's a bit harsh, to be honest. I think Swansea's downfall was not down to the 2 boys alone.
Well, yeah,
we're not putting the blame on 2 of them, but they contributed to the, especially Jordan Ayew.
Jordan Ayew actually bailed them out on quite a few occasions. I mean, he scored some important goals for them.
I smell a little hint of bias.
No, I mean, nobody expects more from the Ayew brothers than I do, man. I worship their father as a player.
Yeah.
I mean, I actually know Andre Ayew. I've met him quite a few times, and he's a fantastic guy. And I want to see them do well. I want to see them push on from Swansea, West Ham to bigger clubs and do well. But I don't think they Swansea's downfall was down to them, and I think they can walk into any other club in the Premier League and be able to force themselves into the top side. I think they can do it.
Right. If you disagree with Manny Sarpong like I do, and also Ahmed also does as well, give us a call on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300, or you can even WhatsApp or text us on 0788 747 940. If you think, the Ayew brothers to probably go into the championship and fight their way back into the top league in the Premier League, which is the Premier League, give us a call. If you disagree and you think, they need to go to the championship and learn their lesson, give us a call on 0208 191 7078. We'll be right back. Keep logged in. This is London's Afropolitan Station, ABN Radio UK. This is Sports Link Up for me, Kente, Manny Sarpong, and Ahmed Osman, including our producer, Fifi. We'll be right back.
You the show me this I can't resist, yeah.
breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love
banana.
a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English breakfast.
Salad, fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa.
I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio Breakfast Show with Ifuadum. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Quentin slowly, supporting all family and young people.
Acha guide me from my enemy. Yo, this is Shatawali and you're listening to ABN Radio. Mad.
Yes, indeed. You're listening to London's Afropolitan station, ABN Radio UK. This is Sports Link Up Africa with me, Kente, Kufuor. And I've also got with me in the studio, to my right-hand side, Manny, Sarpong, the sports journalist. And also to my left-hand side, African sports expert, who's also a sports journalist. And also in the studio with us is my producer, Fifi, joining us in the studio. Listen, Ahmed, before we even go on to what's happening in the Premier League, let me just quickly remind our dear listeners of the phone number that they can use to reach us on. Is 0208-191-7078 or 0208-670-7300. You can even WhatsApp me on 0788747590. You can actually watch us live on YouTube. Just type in ABN Radio UK. YouTube, go on YouTube, type in ABN Radio UK, and you can actually see what's happening behind the scenes. Look, Ahmed, what is going on in the Premier League?
Yes, let's just go throughout the Premier League and the scores. Burnley versus Bournemouth is 1-1. Wood for Burnley and Joshua King for Bournemouth. It's still the 85th minute there. Crystal Palace and West Brom. Crystal Palace are 2-0 up. Wilfried Zaha and Van Aanholt, the two players that have always come up with the results for Palace.
Okay.
Huddersfield and Arsenal is 1-0 to Arsenal. Aubameyang, once again, what a great signing he's been.
Aubameyang.
Yep, still another 5 minutes to go for that. Liverpool are absolutely thrashing Brighton. Mohamed Salah scored one. Lovren, Solanke and Robertson. Another great performance from the Reds. Manchester United are 1-0 up against Watford in a dull match. We've said that many times about Manchester United.
We're going to come back. We're definitely going to come back to that. United, the style of play.
Yeah, it's quite a struggle. Newcastle, as you mentioned before, they're 3-0 up against Chelsea. Chelsea, the Blues are getting absolutely humiliated at St James's Park.
Yeah.
Southampton, Manchester City. It's been a bore draw there as well. The champions aren't able to just get past the Southampton defence. Swansea City already relegated, in my opinion. They are 2-1 down against already relegated Stoke City. Ndai and Crouch for the goals and King for Swansea. This game is absolutely crazy. Tottenham are 5-4 up against Leicester City.
Wow.
Kane with 2 goals. Lamela to 2 goals. And Fuchs' own goal. Leicester City, Jamie Vardy, he's had a great season in my opinion. Mahrez
and Inacho.
Yes, and Inacho.
They're two Africans. I like that.
Just to remind our listeners, Kane is only 2 goals behind Mohamed Salah now, and I think there's just about 5 minutes plus extra
for him to get to the golden boot.
The golden boot. I'm sure the FA will give him any goals he claims anyway. So I'm sure. And finally, West Ham. They've been able to turn it around after that horrific scenes in the London Stadium about 3-4 weeks ago.
Yes,
they are 3-1 up against a disappointing Everton this season. Nias with a goal for Everton. Lanzini scores twice, and Arnautovic, in my opinion, one of the players of the season as well.
All right, let me just quickly come back to one of the points that you raised earlier on. You said something about Kane.
Yeah.
You think the FA will try and give him a goal. So what you're trying to say to me is a couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, that goal that he got awarded, he didn't deserve it.
Disgrace. Absolute disgrace. I think I mentioned it with you on the Sunday after when he claimed that. I couldn't believe it. The thing is, you need needs to be 100% sure he touched the ball, and the panel who decided to give it to him, they don't know 100% he touched it. That's not even obvious. And do you know what's more disgraceful?
I mean, a couple of replays show that he didn't touch the ball.
He didn't touch it. He did not touch it. And do you know why he gave it to him? Let me give you why. There's 2 reasons why he gave it to him. And I'm sorry if it seems quite blatant. First of all, he's English. He's England's golden boy. Number 2, he swore on his daughter's life. I'm sorry, but that's unprofessional. You can't just go, I'm swearing on my daughter's life. Do you know, I touched the ball.
From Kane?
Yeah, he did. And he said that in his appeal, which is ridiculous.
He won the golden ball. He would do anything to try and get it.
And that's the thing.
And they gave it to him.
Why would you take a goal off your teammate?
When he scored so many.
Exactly. Yeah, he scored already so many. And imagine how Eriksen's feeling. What's that doing in the changing room? What if they don't get into the Champions League? They're gonna, it's a complete.
They're already in the Champions League. So
I'm just saying. I understand, but what if they didn't though? That could cause a huge rift in the team.
I don't think Eriksen's the kind of player that will mind too much because he's
too nice. He's too nice.
He's a midfielder that's scored over 11 goals already this season. So he's pretty cool. He's calm. I think he will be okay with Kane pushing forward because of golden boot, because of for the morale for the player.
It just seems very desperate from England's golden boot,
and as a striker, you try to claim every goal because at the end of the day, there will be difference between you being a footnote and you being a record holder. Let's not forget that Cristiano Ronaldo has also scored 31 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah.
He equaled it. Nobody really talks about that because he just equaled it. Mohamed Salah now is going to be known for
32 goals.
To come.
Yeah.
Alan Shearer hasn't played football for almost 10 years and his
he's
name
still
is still there at the top. So
maybe Mo Salah
scored a lot of bogey goals like Kane claimed. So he claimed a lot of it, Shearer. So.
Maybe Mo Salah will take his chair on Match of the Day. Who knows?
All right, let's quickly, gentlemen. All right, let's quickly move on to let me start with you, Manny. Sarpong. Manny, looking at Stoke City, they're already down. Their 10-year stay in the Premier League was over. Swansea City, 7-year stay in the Premier League is almost over, or is over. Looking at that, the two of them, you were thinking, they've got enough experience within them to stay in the Premier League. That goes on to tell any team that, the Premier League status is not guaranteed.
Of course not. Of course, it's not. When Sunderland went down, that was
back to back.
That was it, saying that no Premier League. The Premier League's tough.
Yes, indeed.
That's why it's the greatest league in football.
Yeah, right.
I'm sorry, but I know there are a lot of La Liga fans and Serie A fans. It's not on the same caliber as the Premier League. The top team can go to the bottom team and lose. And why I would say personally I'm disappointed because Stoke are out of the Premier League.
10 years.
I love the idea of Stoke in the Premier League because it's a tough place to go on a rainy Stoke Saturday morning.
No one wants to go there.
It was a different kind of game when you went to Stoke. The Britannia Stadium was
good value for your money.
Yeah, I mean, you love to see Stoke go.
Put their foot in
against the top teams.
Yes,
and a
indeed.
lot of times the top sides go there, they don't. I think Burnley has become the new Stoke.
Yeah,
Burnley.
Sean Dyche is doing a very good job.
He's done a fantastic job. 7th in the Premier League. That my hat off to them, and I think Stoke will be back. I'm not so sure about Swansea because I feel like there's more going on at Swansea.
At the back room, isn't it? Okay,
I think West Brom probably the most promising of them all, and I would love West Brom will just bounce right back. I believe that.
Just on Burnley, just to clarify. The thing is with Burnley is just to see how good they are at home.
Right.
They have the least goals away from home than any other team in the Premier League, and that just shows how amazing they are at home. I wouldn't say Turf Moor is an intimidating place to go, but you're going to get a game when you go to Turf Moor.
Right. Let me just carry off with you 1 second. I mean, it's all over at Liverpool. Liverpool have they've won the game. It's 4 goals to nil against Brighton, and also Swansea City. They have been officially relegated. They are gone.
No surprise there.
No surprise there. I mean, Swansea. When they were coming into there, I wasn't expecting any sort of last-minute dramatic changes between Southampton going down or Swansea going down. Swansea sealed their own fate. I mean, the game against Southampton, you would have thought that. I mean, what's the price now to stay in the Premier League? We're talking about £200 million.
Almost £200 million
to stay in the Premier League, and you would have thought they would be fighting tooth and nail, but they just didn't have any wit about it.
Thank you very much. I was just going to say that, Manny, because their game against Southampton,
It was just poor.
It was just poor.
It was poor. So for me, that was it. They sealed their fate, and I said they're going down. And I've said it for a while. I've been saying it for a while. The teams I picked to go down have exactly been the three teams that have gone down, and I picked them back in February. So
right, that's a very good start. Manny, let me go on another question I was going to point out to you. I mean, you said Stoke City might probably bounce back into the Premier League. Paul Lambert denies that there was a break clause in his contract, and what he's saying is he would like to stay on.
Well, he's saying he would like to stay on. Nobody wants to be out of a job.
It's true. I mean, that's a good point.
His credentials are not that great to land a job straight away. So the team's coming up. They're coming up with their managers. So.
Yeah.
I mean, and personally, for me, I want to see the break to this whole merry-go-round of the same pool of managers that 100%.
100%.
You want to see fresh ideas, fresh blood in it.
I was excited to see Pochettino get a chance come in. I mean, I want to see different kind of managers come in.
Probably Arteta moving to a different club, getting his chance. Maybe a manager like what was the one, Shearer. Someone like Shearer also getting into management.
Well, Shearer's had his share
of Newcastle. Don't you think he deserves another chance?
Anyway, and look at Darren Moore, okay?
I mean, let's talk about
Darren Moore.
A black manager. Let's put 50 lines under that. A black manager who never been a head coach before in a Premier League team.
Why hasn't he? I mean, look at that.
Because they don't get the chances.
How many black managers have we got in the Premier League?
Not many.
Not Chris
Hughton. Yeah, Chris Hughton maybe. He's mixed race.
How many?
Only two now.
That was Chris Hughton.
That's it.
That's it. Yeah, exactly. And he went away against Manchester United at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
He drew against Liverpool, and in my opinion, they had a great match against Liverpool, and he beat Tottenham at home. So look at
fantastic. I mean, not to cut you off, but it's been a very
100%.
It's been a dramatic end to the game at Bournemouth for Burnley, and they were winning 1-0 up, very comfortable. It got to the 74th minute, Kent equalised, and then the 93rd minute before the referee's final whistle, Wilson have scored and given the win to Bournemouth 2-1 at Burnley. They are now the first side to beat Burnley at home this calendar.
Wow. I mean, listen.
Bournemouth to beat Burnley on the last day of the season with the last kick.
I mean, listen. That's what we like. That's what we love the Premier League, isn't it?
That's why I love the Premier League.
That's what the Premier League.
That's why I love the Premier League. Because, I mean, you would have got Burnley versus Bournemouth on the last day of the season. They both don't really have much to play for. It would have been a dull game. No, not the Premier League.
It happens.
It happens. Burnley were 1-0 up, and you would have bet your bottom dollar that Burnley were going to see that 1-0. How many times have they done it?
They've done it against the top teams, and then Bournemouth. They crack against Bournemouth.
Bournemouth have gone on and beaten Burnley. What a fantastic result for them to end the season. But let's come back to Darren Moore, because I think we need to talk about him more. He needs more exposure for what he's done. Let's not forget, he took over a club, right? And he took over a club that was very, very much doomed.
Why wasn't he given the chance in the first place? I mean, they gave the chance to Alan Pardew.
And Alan Pardew, in my opinion, was the wrong person for the job. And they should have realised that about two or three, or maybe even 4 games in. But they kept on giving him chances after chance after chance. There's a reason why these managers are not good enough.
Pardew's not hungry anymore.
Pardew's not hungry. Mark Hughes, Steve Bruce, all of these managers going around in literally changing teams with their links. Why aren't
Sam Allardyce?
Yeah, Sam Allardyce is another one who got the job at Everton. But in my opinion, he keeps you up. I understand that one because he's able to come into a job and then keep you up.
Keeping up Everton is not gonna go down on his CV as part of his credentials.
They were doomed though when he came in.
No, Everton have always been a top 6 club. They were amongst the top 6 club for a large part of the early Premier League season. I mean, David Moyes made a career keeping Everton up, top 6, top 7 for 10 years running. But Sam Allardyce is not going to get any credit, in my opinion, for keeping up a team like Everton. Look at that team sheet. Look at the squad he has and the resources he has.
I understand that, but they were 18th when he came. They were 18th.
They were going through a tough patch. I mean, this is why a lot of these English managers are getting jobs because Steve Bruce goes round and then Alan Pardew takes Steve Bruce's old position. Steve Bruce takes Sam Allardyce's
and then Tony Pulis comes and then
and I'm so tired of it.
Give me new managers. Give me Darren Moore. Give me Pochettino.
Different.
Give me Carvajal. Give me anyone else other than these managers, these English managers who get chance after chance after chance. But the truth is, they're not good enough, and that is the truth. That is 100% the truth. And Darren Moore has come in and proven that a manager that maybe isn't popular or isn't someone who's going to be given a chance straight away. Out of luck, he's given an opportunity and he's proven everyone
out of luck, out of desperation.
That's the thing.
Desperation, because they just thought, okay, we're doomed anyway.
Give Darren Moore the job.
Just let him do the job. Let's not forget he's on the same salary as he is as assistant, as he was assistant coach. And now they were planning to bring someone in the summer after.
You've just taken my question out of your mouth, Ron. I was going to ask you, do you think even if they go to the championship, which they are already anyway, do you think they're going to give him the chance? Or they're going to bring someone in?
They have to. They have to. Yeah. I mean, you've got nothing to lose now. You've been relegated. Save your money. Save your budget. And focus on recruiting players.
Right, Liz Truman, thank you very much. Yes, focus on recruiting players, focus on rebuilding the team to try and get them bounce back into the Premier League. If you want to give us a call, you can do that. If you want to join in the conversation, you can do that on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300. You can even WhatsApp or text us on 0788 7475 You can even watch what is going on at the backstage. Just quickly jump onto YouTube Live, ABN Radio UK, YouTube Live, and you can see what's happening behind the scenes. This is London's Afropolitan Station, ABN Radio UK. Sports link up with me, Kente, Kufuor, Manny, Sarpong, and Ahmed, Osman. Keep logged in. We'll be right back.
Got myself a sponsor. Anything me ask, see the bye-bye. Even though it's older, but I got to survive in this life. Another one who is younger. When I ask for something to cry. Messi Papa, I'm a dear, I'm a baby. That's when I go, but she not coming quick. And now, baby, I'm in China, so need my summer. How can you stop? Pull it for me, slow down. Mercy. These broke guys have lots of energy. It made me downtown out, just like oven. But when the morning comes, we not have nothing. A boyfriend who can't buy you food when you're hungry. Is that one too? A boy so I can't move fast, switch up the lanes. I got myself a sponsor. Messi Papa, I'm a dear, I'm a baby. That's when I try, but she not coming quick. I don't remember me, Jamie, so they must say my organization. Pull it for me, slow down. This is CMA, pull it for me, slow down.
ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
More news, more information. This is ABN News on the Hour.
From the Sky News Centre at 5. The Foreign Secretary says he's delighted to announce the news that 2 British tourists are free after being kidnapped in the Democratic Republic of Congo. They've been held hostage since last week when the convoy they were travelling in was attacked. The driver was injured and a park ranger killed. Olivia Kinsley has more details.
They were kidnapped on Friday in the Virunga National Park, which is a world-famous, renowned gorilla sanctuary on the border with Uganda and Rwanda in the east of the country.
A terror investigation started in Paris after a man stabbed another man to death and injured 4 others before being shot. A judicial source says the attacker was born in Chechnya and has been on the authorities' radar for radicalism. The Labour leader has described Dame Tessa Jowell as a dedicated party member, as tributes are paid following her death yesterday. The former Culture Secretary, who was diagnosed with cancer last year, passed away surrounded by her family at her home. In sports, Arsene Wenger's reign as Arsenal manager is over. He signed off with a 1-0 Premier League win at Huddersfield. Liverpool have guaranteed a top 4 place with a 4-0 win over Brighton, while Swansea are officially relegated after losing 2-1 to Stoke. Meanwhile, Tottenham have ended their time at Wembley with an incredible match against Leicester. Live to Clive Edwards.
Yes, it finished Spurs 5, Leicester 4. A feast of goals for the fans as Spurs said goodbye to Wembley. After 46 minutes, Spurs were 3-1 down, but they came back to earn all the points and finished third in the league. 2 goals each for Lamella and Kane, plus an own goal. For Leicester, 2 from Vardy, 1 from Morris and 1 from Iheanacho. Great entertainment. Spurs 5, Leicester 4.
Elsewhere, in the Scottish Premiership, Rangers' astonishing 5-5 draw with Hibernian wasn't enough to overtake Aberdeen, who finished second thanks to a 1-0 win at Celtic. And Britain's Lewis Hamilton's won his Spanish Formula 1 Grand Prix to extend his lead at the top of the table to 17 points. The Mercedes driver moves further clear of Ferrari's Sebastian Vettel, who was 4th. That's the latest. I'm Charlie Max.
It was a well-paying job, respectable, wearing a suit and tie every day. But I drank 24/7. Drank on the way to work, drank at work.
I never could come to terms with admitting that I had an alcohol problem or a pill problem.
I decided to get clean, and so I went to the Narconon program.
Not only did I handle my drug addiction, I completely knew how to live life.
Call Narconon today at 01435 512 460. 01435 512 460.
Spring, summer, autumn, winter. Remember when there are only 4 seasons? How quaint. No, there's season 5 and 6 and 7 and sometimes 8 or 9. Box sets, they're blooming brilliant. And when you've got a smart meter, you could save enough energy to watch them for 147 days, non-stop. Save your energy for watching TV. Contact your energy supplier about getting your free smart meter.
Based on a British Gas customer study, participating suppliers and eligible customers only. Savings possible by measuring energy usage and reducing wastage.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife. Save your life. What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love
banana.
a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English bit.
Salad, fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa.
I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio Breakfast Show with Ifuadum. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
One for the party, 2 for the money, 3 when you shake, yeah, bam, 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 bam. What's up, guys? My name is Yemi Alade, and anytime I'm in London, I'm chilling and listening to ABN Radio, guys. Don't flip. Don't miss it. Mwah.
They say they ain't heard nothing like this in a while. That's why they play my song on so many different dials. Cause I got more hits than a disciplined child. So when they see me, everybody barracks. Man, I'm like a young gun, fully black barack. I cry teardrops over the massive attack. I only make hits like I work with a racket and back. Look at my jacket and hat, so damn berserk, so down to earth. I'm bringing gravity back, adopted by the major. I want my family back. People work hard just to get all their salary tax. Look, I'm just a writer from the ghetto like Mallory Black. Man, where the hell for the sanity at? Damn, I used to be the kid that no one cared about. That's why you have to keep screaming till they hear you out. A million miles away, a message to the man.
Yes, indeed. Season comes and goes, but ABN Radio UK London's Afropolitan station, we do still remain the same. If you just joined us, if you just logged in to the station, you can give us a call on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300, or you can even WhatsApp or text me on 0788 7475 940. You can even watch us live on YouTube by logging into YouTube Live, typing in ABN Radio UK Live, and you can see what's happening behind the scenes. Ahmed, let me come straight to you. Officially, the Premier League is over.
Just want to say the Premier League's over. The two Manchester clubs are sitting 1 and 2, just like I predicted.
Listen, Ahmed, I'll come to you. Let me just quickly go to Manny, since Manny's got a lot to say today. Manny, the two Manchester club, I know your heart is at is red.
The red side.
The red side.
But side.
Between the two Manchester club, the point difference is 19 points. How far do you think, maybe next season, how do you see the next season panning out?
Next season's a different season. I mean, let's not forget that we finished behind Chelsea 13 points last season. 19 points. Yeah.
Okay.
We're 19 points behind Chelsea last season, so... And this season we finished way above them. So, I mean, every season's competitive.
It's different, yeah.
So, I mean, you don't get 3 points to start next season with. You're not going to be any higher than the only person that's going to start at the top is Arsenal by alphabetical order.
All right. I mean, your manager, Jose Mourinho, has come under a lot of criticism with his style of play. The fans at Old Trafford, they don't really agree with the way he set up his team. And back and forth, it's been back and forth with the fans and Manchester United and Jose Mourinho. Do you think maybe Mourinho needs to change his style of play?
I don't think Mourinho needs to change his style of play. I don't think Mourinho has only one style of play, because I don't understand why when he gets...
Well, he's always been packing the bus.
He's not been packing the bus. He won the league at Chelsea. He won the league at Chelsea in 2015.
Yep.
I mean, don't forget, United started the season playing fantastically well. We were winning 4-0, 5-0.
Champagne football.
It was champagne football. And then, we went
really?
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I think I've been watching the wrong kind of Premier League.
That's the sacrifice.
And the two of you telling me that Jose Mourinho's team has been playing champagne football in the Premier League.
At the beginning of the season. In the beginning.
Beginning of the season, you can't just probably base it on watching one or two games.
The first 10 games, United were fantastic.
And they are still 19 points behind the blue side. They are noisy neighbours.
Well, what's Arsenal? What's Chelsea?
Well, we'll come to Arsenal. We'll come to Arsenal later. Let's talk about Manchester United.
Okay, let me tell you guys something. Okay, if for example the top four went all the way in front of Manchester United were 19 points behind the front four.
You're right.
Then okay, we would say, all right, okay, this is completely disgraceful from Jose Mourinho. However, this has been an absolutely brilliant season from Pep Guardiola and Manchester City.
You're right.
They have absolutely dominated each and every game week in terms of possession, chances, and you have to say that it's very well deserved.
Right.
And I think it's very unlucky for Manchester United in terms of they started toe to toe with Manchester City. They were the only team in the beginning of the season that actually were able to challenge and put pressure on Manchester City. And then there was a bit of a problem when Pogba got injured. Pogba got injured earlier in the season, and that's when Man United went downwards.
Actually, before you even go much further, let me just quickly bring dear listeners up to date. Manchester City have finally become the only Premier League side ever to get 100 point.
I think we should actually bring it like that. With the last kick of the game, Manchester City also got a goal to win that game 1-0. Gabriel Jesus, the man.
What a disappointment!
Actually went on.
Typical United fans.
No, I'm just saying it's the last kick of the game, man. I'm actually bigging them up.
It's true.
100 points is a big achievement.
It's a massive achievement.
No one have been able to.
I'm saying that personifies the season that they've had, because that's what they've had. When it's got tough, as Huddersfield has made it for them so far, even with the last kick of the game, they've managed to get a goal and got the win.
And that's what champions do, unfortunately.
I mean, let's bring you back into the champagne football. The two of you are claiming that United have been playing throughout the whole season, right? When they played against Sevilla in the Champions League, was that champagne football? But some of these games were pivotal to Mourinho's career. taking them into the Champions League final. And it didn't happen. They were boring.
No, I think you're correct. I think. But what I mentioned, what I mentioned with Manny is that in the beginning of the season,
first 10 games.
Yeah, in the first 10 games, it was champion football.
Okay.
I think a lot of people underestimate how important Paul Pogba is.
Was it sparkling or was it?
Oh, it was sparkling. It was it was beautiful. And we're winning 3-4-0 against let's say mediocre sides. I think what we need to improve on next season is the way we play away from home, and I think we need to improve the consistency of the team attacking wise. Martial needs to step it up. If he can't step it up, I think he needs to go. I think he's another De Bruyne or Mo Salah in the making if he leaves Manchester United.
If the information I'm getting is right, I've been told by a close source that Martial, Chelsea has approached United for Martial, and
no way.
And Mourinho is asking for.
They can't sell him. They can't sell him.
If it's a straight trade for Hazard,
no. They want. I think they want.
I'll do it.
Willian.
I'll do it.
They want Willian.
Mourinho's
asking for Willian.
29 years old. 29 years old. I wouldn't take him.
To be honest, right?
See, the two of you are confused.
No.
Will you take him?
No, not at that age.
Exactly.
I think he's played his best years.
We're on the same boat here.
Yeah, I don't think Martial. I think Martial's a better.
Can I just say I want to change the subject for a second, if that's okay?
Yeah, go on.
Breaking news: Mo Salah's won the Golden Boot.
All right. Let's give the Egyptians what they deserve.
Let's just give us
our fellow Africans. Breaking news. Yeah, go on.
And Hurricane, if you're listening, oh my God, if you're listening, even claiming goals that you didn't score weren't enough to take the Golden Boot of an Egyptian who has broken record after record after record after record, and he has 32 goals in the season. He's beaten the likes of Shearer, Suarez, Cristiano Ronaldo, Van Nistelrooy, Andy Cole, you name it.
Thierry Henry, the list goes on.
Didier Drogba, you name it.
Drogba scored 29.
And he is a winger.
Yes,
imagine if he was a striker.
Yeah.
That is an amazing accomplishment. The pride of Egypt, the pride of the Greek,
the pride of Africans,
the pride of Africa, and it's just astonishing the season he's had. Now the big challenge is do it next season and the season after that and the season after that. And here's a question for you guys: how many goals does he need to score next season for him not to be seen as a one-season wonder?
As in, he does not another Barrows.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he needs to hit 20. I think 20 is the standard. 20 is the standard of a good striker in the Premier League.
Yeah.
You hit 20 goals, you're good.
Yep.
And I think if he hits
in the season or the Premier League.
I'll say in the Premier League.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get 20 goals in the season. Get 4 against a non-league team in an FA Cup.
Yeah.
The Premier League is where it comes.
I mean, he's got the ability to do it. I think he's the kind of player that can get a job done.
I think Mo Salah, sadly to say, I think he needs to stay at Liverpool, because if he makes a big move now, I think he'll go downhill. I think the way Liverpool to attack and play is set up for him to flourish. I don't think he will get the same chances if he plays in a different club. For example, if he played for Arsenal or played for Chelsea, the way their setup is, it won't be the same. Playing that false number 9 for such a long time has worked for him. He's got that space to be able to come in from, like you said, he's a winger, but he's not just your average winger crossing the ball to a Hurricane. They don't have a target man. Liverpool.
Yeah.
So they've got 3 pacey, should we say, attacking forwards.
Yeah.
Just attack straight at you. So he doesn't play with his back to goal, which I really like about Liverpool. They're playing going at defenders, and that puts the defenders on the back foot. And
they have a lot of variety, haven't they?
It's fantastic.
They've got Manny who can get past players and can cause the difference, and then you've also got the brilliance of Mo Salah and his runs from in behind, and then Firmino doing the number 10. Firmino's not your average striker, and he's not your typical striker. He's a number 10, and I think a lot of people underestimate how amazing and brilliant he is as a player.
Yeah. I think he's been overshadowed. I think he's had a fantastic.
Let me ask you two of you a quick question, please. Right? Look, UEFA recently just confirmed that the English teams, they're going to have 4 teams in the Premier League, regardless of if
in the Champions League.
Yeah, in the Champions League, regardless if Liverpool wins the Champions League or not.
Yeah.
Right. So what happens today if they win it? Would that mean Chelsea will be given the chance, or it's still going to be City, United, and
that's fine.
It's still going to be the.
It would have been different if Arsenal won the Europa League. If both Arsenal and Liverpool won the Champions League, then Tottenham would miss out.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
You can't have
more than 5, isn't it? It's definitely going to be 4.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
And if it's going to be 5, then you need at least 2 English clubs to win both Europa League and Champions League, and that's what was on the table before Arsenal Arsenal, messed it up.
Right.
However, I
don't think anyone really worried about that because nobody had faith in Arsenal.
Listen, the guy. All right, that's all right. Put a stop to that. Let's talk about Wenger.
Yeah.
Before Manny just spoiled the fun.
Do you know what? I'm so excited today. I'm actually very excited for Arsenal fans and Arsene Wenger.
22 years of war, hard labour.
Obama finally done him a favour for him to actually get a win today, because he would have gone through the whole of the calendar year without a single away win. And I think that would have just been so embarrassing for the man. And
that would have been joyful for the rest of the top four.
I mean, if he lost today or drew, nothing but a win was needed today, and I'm glad Aubameyang responded, because nothing but a win was needed for Arsene Wenger to be sent off, right?
And
he should have retired. He should have, left Arsenal a long time
ago.
But I think he just saved his skin in terms of his legacy. Just about.
I think his legacy is actually been tarnished.
It's been damaged a little, but I don't think it's been damaged to the point where.
Let's look at Arsene Wenger's career, right?
Yeah.
From 1997, he came in 1997, done amazing up until 2004.
Right.
Done the Invincible,
the double, whatever.
And then Chelsea, the money of Chelsea came in, the dominance of Chelsea, the dominance of Man United, winning a treble 3 times, going to
Abramovich came in.
Final four, United were absolutely dominant. Chelsea were dominant. And then City came in, and City were dominant. Liverpool started playing fantastic football. And then where's Arsenal? Arsene Wenger's just been in the shadows of all these 4 teams. And then the latter stages of his career,
they couldn't even win against Leicester to win the Premier League.
Now Tottenham has become the bigger club
in North London.
Yeah,
which is sad.
But then 2-3 years ago,
Arsenal.
Let's compare Arsenal with the teams that have emerged right now. Let's look at Liverpool, for example.
Yeah, go on.
Liverpool before Mo Salah, Mane, before Firmino came, they were maybe just a bit less than Arsenal are in the Premier League in terms of growing teams and challenging Manchester United and Chelsea.
You're right.
Look at the difference in transfer policy. Look at the difference in players they get and Arsenal get, and look at the difference in manager and the passion and what they give to the team. Arsene Wenger is a man who does not show any passion or any kind of urgency from the bench. Okay, he's a very calm man. He's a very
completely understand.
Yeah, and Klopp is very engaged. He's pushing his team, and he shows it with his football. And I don't see that with Arsenal. Arsenal's laid back, very 50-50, and. I see it now. I see where Arsenal have lacked in the past 5 years, and it's been in the manager position simply.
Definitely, because Arsene Wenger personally shouldn't have been.
That's good.
Yeah, my bad. I think personally, I agree. Arsene Wenger shouldn't really. I think he should have retired, or not retired, but stepped away from the Arsenal job.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I think it should have been when he won that FA Cup.
Yeah,
the first of the 3 FA Cups he won.
Yeah.
That should have been it. That should have been him saying, "Look,
thank you very much.
Thank you. The game has progressed beyond. The game has advanced. I see him as a dinosaur in the game. He's not changed his ways. I mean, he moves like a dinosaur on the touchline. He's just not as emotional, and I think he was there to keep the club stable. Now that Arsene Wenger's left, I think Arsenal's going to go into this transitional period.
All right. Now, the question, sorry to cut you off, Manny. The question is, do you reckon Wenger was pushed?
I think he recognized it was time. I think it was a mutual.
Oh no, he was definitely pushed.
I
think behind the scenes they were like, okay, listen, Arsene, we love you.
But it's got to come from the club. Probably on his contract.
It's got to come from the club, right? If we're in a cushy job, not doing mediocre, doing our mediocre and getting a massive paycheck, let's not forget Arsene Wenger is one of the top paid managers in football. He's number 3.
But how bad does it look? How bad does it look if you put out a statement and say Arsenal Football Club have come to agreement with Arsene Wenger?
Oh, it's an agreement. It's not them saying. It's not them. They didn't sack him. They
sacked him behind the scenes. They said, "Okay, Arsene, we want you to."
All right, listen, gentlemen. All right, okay.
I don't call it as a sacking. I think they've got a lot of mutual respect for him. They've got a lot of respect. So it's time for him to step away and for the club to take a new direction. And
Okay, right. Manny is saying Wenger wasn't sacked for, there was a mutual concern between Wenger and Arsenal Football Club. What do you got to say to that? Give us a call on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 6707 300. Still to come on the show, we're going to do our World Cup countdown. Yes, believe it in me, the World Cup just around the corner. It starts in June. Russia 2018. We've got 5 African teams representing Africa in a World Cup.
Ghana's not one of them.
And well, I'm not surprised Ghana is not one of them. So listen, if you think we're going to do a World Cup countdown, and we're going to start with Egypt. So keep locked in, and we've got a lot to come. This ABN Radio UK, London Metropolitan Station. This is Sports Link Up Africa with me, Kente, Kufuor, and also go with me, Manny, Sarpong, Osman, Ahmed, and also I got my producer Fifi that is just stuck at the back. Keep locked in, we'll be right back.
It's here, the African Gospel Music and Media Awards 2018, celebrating excellence. On the 2nd of June 2018 at East London Arts and Music Main Auditorium, 45 Maltings Close, Bromley by Bow, London, E3 3TA, from 6 p.m, featuring Joe Beto, Diana Hamilton, Isabella, Called Out Music, Shekinah, Dena Mwanga, Afri David, Angel Bernard, Judith Sefuma, Blessing Ali, and Reapers Choir. For tickets and information, visit AfricanGospelMusicAwards.com or call 07906 932 670. The African Gospel Music and Media Awards 2018, celebrating excellence. Clap your hands and dance it.
The Discourse on ABN Radio, engaging our community with discerning conversation.
Join me, Esther Alade, on The Discourse, where we will be redefining perspectives with authentic analysis.
Join The Discourse from 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. on ABN Radio.
This Friday and every Friday on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. Tune in to the new ABN Breakfast Show from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. The London City Show has evolved into an all-new breakfast show with sizzling slices of juicy newsy current affairs served with junior jumbo-sized convos on issues you should be aware of. What did I just say? The ABN Breakfast Show, the Afropolitan breakfast you can't afford to miss.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart ripped out of a family. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife, save your life.
ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan station. My name is Uti Wachuku. Keep it locked here.
Macho man one cheetah day. I guess all I shake more cafe. We're living on the mortgage. I can't check cafe no be it. Me I mean all this year run away. I am my life, say me girl I'm say. My old dying now be me away. Me de me yet to be travel. When you beji and you check ya bremo and you to be. Say me do kakra or fago pay. Pass now my mate no see away. Captain add what them I say. Me I no want talk anything. Money they come before my brain. Yamba kinchiki yadi. Nasa yanzu kungani. This time me I go the party. I decide kungani. We the show Ghana. We taking over. We the go harder. We taking over. We the show Ghana. We taking over. We the go harder. Remember see me I tell you say. Kaji Konya, go be. Kato mankani be kaidwadi. What be your problem? A blanket. Kaptaiba, Sunny, Walirani, Lebi Keshani. Beke, one fee, Uno, Ife, Ayati. Kochai, Shata. Hey, Sergeant Lee. Otashi Otrati. No, Eba, comfortable lead. Hey, Pitney Shashish. Yananga, Ale, Benali. In our boy, Shata Wale.
Yes, indeed, we taking over. ABN Radio UK, London's Afropolitan station. We are taking over. And talking about taking over, Ahmed Osman, who is Africa Sports expert and also our Premier League expert is taking over right here, right now on the show. Ahmed, you got the World Cup come down. What you got for us?
Yeah, we're going to talk about Egypt, a team that hasn't qualified for the World Cup in 28 years. Probably not the most promising African side going into the World Cup when you've got Morocco, Senegal, and Nigeria, who, you know, some of them have had experiences in the past.
Yep.
Mo Salah, I know we spoke about him a lot. I know a lot of people are sick of hearing his name because he's won almost every award to be.
Well, he's a top player.
Yeah, top player. And
nothing wrong with that.
No surprise, he is Egypt's star man going into the World Cup. He is going to be needed by the Egyptian national team to be at his best, at his peak when they go to Russia. And they will be playing the hosts, Uruguay, and also Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
A very, let's just say, mediocre group, a realistic qualification for any of the 4 teams. But Egypt will fancy their chances because they have a player in Mahmoud Hassan Trezeguet who plays on the left wing.
Yeah, Trezeguet.
Who is having an unbelievable season in the Turkish league. He's got 13 goals this season.
Oh, wow.
In the league alone. And he's being looked at by Leicester and also Everton, possibly to go to them in the summer transfer window, depending on how well he performs at the World Cup. There may be even more teams to come after him. Also, we're going to look at Abdullah Said, who has almost created all the goals for Egypt. He is their star playmaker. He creates the balls in behind for Mohamed Salah. With El Neni, Mo El Neni had a bit of a scare against I think it was against West Ham when Mark Noble stood against his ankle, and there seemed to be a bit of an issue with him, maybe, but scans have cleared and they've shown that he'll be away for maybe just 2 to 3 weeks, and he will be available for Egypt. A huge boost for them. Let's not forget Ahmed Higazi, who plays in the centre-back position. He's another great defender who was unfortunate to be in a relegated team like West Brom. He's hit the ground running defensively, and I think West Brom.
I mean, then Egypt's got a strong team then.
They've got a very strong team, and last but not least, Sam Al-Hadri, African legend, goalkeeping legend. You know,
he's coming back in our head about
he's starting for Egypt, in my opinion. He's closest to start for Egypt in the World Cup. Yeah, he got a bit lucky when Shinawi got injured.
How old is he now?
He is now, I think he's just about 40.
He's going to be the oldest player to play in the World Cup then.
Yeah, oldest. And the thing is, he plans to play for Egypt even when he gets to 45, even 50. That's his plans. He's resilient. He's so passionate, and he's a man that never ages. Let's be honest.
Let me tell you the experience I had with him. Not the experience. I've seen him play before. I think was it in Africa Cup of Nations in Ghana when the Egyptians they won that game. They won the final.
Second in a row.
Second in a row. And I saw him. He climbed up to onto the post. And he was just like dancing, celebrating. That's my favorite. And I was really I was just behind that post.
His signature dance.
His signature dance, yes.
Anytime Egypt qualify from something or you know, are very strong in a competition or have won a competition or have gone through qualification, you will find Sam Al-Hadri on a post with a fellow teammate dancing on top of the crossbar. That's his signature move. He's a legend of Egyptian football. He's had a few issues with Al Ahly previously. That's why he doesn't kind of have the whole support of the country. A lot of Al Ahly fans upset with him trying to escape the team about maybe 6-7 years ago, maybe even more than that. Other than that, he's a national hero for sure, and he will be up there with Mo Salah in importance. I know that sounds a bit ridiculous, but he's so important. He was important in the Confederations Cup, and he was important in all 3 of the Africa Cup of Nations wins for Egypt. He's the man that never ages. He's the man that keeps giving to Egypt.
He's still going strong.
He's still going strong, and this was his dream from day one to go to a World Cup. He would have, you know, gotten rid of all of his Africa Cup of Nations wins just for an appearance at the World Cup. Now he has the opportunity to prove himself at the world stage.
And he rightly deserves it. That's all. 100%. He deserves it. I mean, like I said, you have been following his career for quite a long time. I mean, he's one of the dumb players that they've won everything on African soil.
Yeah,
but they've not been on that big platform.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that big platform. I mean, it's one of the players that I would like to talk about is Abu Trika, Mohamed Abu Trika. He's one of the legends of African football. He's won everything in African football, but he's not had a chance to play in a World Cup.
A lot of Egyptians will tell you it's one of the biggest crimes to see Abu Trika not at the World Cup stage, because he has everything. You know,
Mohamed Abu Trika,
sublime skill, brilliant finishing ability. ability. The outside of his foot of his is golden. It's beautiful. You know, consistent in the African Cup of Nations, consistent in the African Champions League with Al Ahly, his second team in his career after Tarsana in Egypt. And he's a man of such manners and just honesty and just a brilliant man off the field as well.
Respectable as well.
Respectable and honoured and so respected from the Al Ahly fans, Al Zamalek fans, even the rivals love him. I'm a Zamalek fan. I absolutely love Abu Trika. And it seems like Mohamed Salah has learned a lot from him because Mohamed Salah was a young player, humble, very humble, took it from Abu Trika, took the manners from Abu Trika, and I would say Mohamed Salah wouldn't be the player that we see right now without the guidance of a man and a legend like Mohamed Abu Trika.
Let me tell you another. It is not even. It's a fact as well, right?
Yes.
When I was growing up back home in Ghana, and I used to listen to these commentaries when we have the Kumasi Asante Kotoko, one of the big clubs in African football based in Ghana, and Accra has a folk back in the days, and you hear I think Abu Trika used to play for Al Ahly, and when anytime Al Ahly comes to play in the Champions League against one of these top teams in Ghana, the only name that I hear on my dad's radio, Mohamed Abu Trika. It's like I'm thinking, Dad, was he the only person played it? He was that good.
He was that good. He calls for the ball majority of the time. He knows. He's fearless. He knows what to do. He was instrumental in that amazing win. Not win, I would say. It felt like a win for Egyptians, but it was a loss against Brazil in the Confederations Cup. To take Brazil to the last minute in the Confederations Cup, we're talking about Luis Fabiano. We're talking about Rubinho, Kaká. It was a world-class team of Brazil, and Egypt were able to take them right to the end, and Mohamed Abu Trika was instrumental for that. He was instrumental against Italy, also creating that assist for Hummus to score against Italy in that historic win against Italy in the Confederation Cup of 2009. He does have a few issues with the Egyptian government. There has been a few.
Yeah, I heard about it. Can you quickly just update us on that?
Yeah, because there seems to be a bit of an issue in terms of the relationship of Mohamed Abu Trika with the Muslim Brotherhood, a party organisation in Egypt, who have caused a lot of a rift in the Egyptian community since they were.
Is he still in the country?
He's not in the country at the moment. He's in Qatar right now. He's escaped a little bit because there seems to be a bit of an issue surrounding him. However, the good news is I've heard from my sources about a couple of weeks ago that the Egyptian government have started to mend relationships with Mohamed Abu Trika.
They have to. He's a
national hero. And it seems like he may be returning to Egypt much sooner than we expected. But just to go back to the topic, Egypt are a team that can cause a huge upset. They could be one of the teams to watch in the World Cup if Mohamed Salah is able to perform. Mohamed Salah usually recently came out and spoke to Egyptian journalists in a 1 hour and a half program interview at Anfield. He said, after being asked about Egypt's chances at the World Cup, do you think we won't get past? He said, if you ask me, I want to cause something or create something that would be historic in African history. I want to create something that maybe possibly Egypt could go to the quarters or the semi-final, because a lot of people say we can't, but I say we can.
Yes, we can.
And so I'm sure it won't be just be Egypt that will be cheering Egypt along. It would be also all the African nations, because as Africans we have to stick together.
All right, yes indeed, we need to stick together. But before I move on to Manny to get an update on what is going on in athletics and also what is going on in the world of boxing. Now let me ask you, Egypt are in the same group as Uruguay. Their first game actually is on the 15th of June against Uruguay.
Yes.
That's Suarez team. And also after that they've got a game against Russia, the host nation, which is a big one. And they've got Saudi Arabia. I mean, it's doable, isn't it?
It is doable, but in my opinion also, Russia is not a difficult game. They're probably the lowest ranked team in the World Cup.
Yes.
However, having the whole stadium, the whole country support by your side, it gives you emotions, as Mo Salah said in his interview as well. It gives them emotions. It gives them that extra energy to create an upset. And maybe Russia aren't in top of the World Cup leaderboard in terms of quality. However, they have a nation behind them. They have the players that could possibly cause issues for Egypt from set pieces. Egypt haven't been reliable in set pieces. players, especially in the friendly against Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo. He was able to, create aerial chances for Portugal, and that is a bit of a problem for me. Just thinking about what could be for Egypt when it comes to aerial chances for Russia and for Uruguay, because you look at Uruguay, Godin, Suarez, Cavani, but it could be a positive for Egypt if they have Uruguay first. That is, in my opinion, the most difficult game. Get that out of the way, and then maybe cause a bit of an upset against Russia, because in my opinion Egypt are not the favourites in that game. I think Russia are, because they have a lot of pressure on them. They have the fans on their side, and we know what can happen, especially Egypt will know that in 2006 we weren't the favourites for the 2006 Africa Cup of Nations, but we were able to cause a bit of an upset with the help of the Egyptian people in that massive win against Ivory Coast in the final.
Alright, my last question to you. I mean, I know it's a World Cup come down, and let me give you this opportunity. I mean, how pivotal is Trezeguet and Mohamed Salah is going to be for the Egyptian national team?
Mohamed Salah is priceless. He is incredibly important for this Egyptian national team. Trezeguet is hitting form at the perfect moment. He can cause the difference. A lot of players will be going to mark Mo Salah. They should cause a lot of space on the left-hand side for Trezeguet. He will welcome that. He was able to create that penalty against Ghana when Mo Salah wasn't at his best in Egypt in that first qualifying game. He, in my opinion, is a dark horse in the team to cause the difference. Also, do not forget about Abdullah Said. He is another talented player.
Very talented.
Yeah, Egypt, in my opinion, last 16, possibly last 8 if they're lucky.
You know what, Ahmed? Thank you very much for that update. Our World Cup come down. What should we expect next week from our World Cup come down?
We're going to continue on another team after that.
Should we go for Senegal?
We're going to go to Senegal and Salah's brother in Liverpool, Manny.
All right. Thanks for that. Listen, keep logged in every Sunday between 4 and 6 if you want to listen to our World Cup come down, because we've got an African sports expert right here in the studios of ABN Radio UK London's Afropolitan station. And look, he's got everything covered, believe it in me.
100%.
Yes, 110% actually. Right, coming up straight after the sports show today, we've got Mispiration with Bright, and today it's on the Deep Convo. He's got Leroy and Stacey. We all know who Stacey is. Stacey normally hosts the Gospel Express show with me every Thursday on this very old station between 7 and 9. So Stacey and the husband Leroy is coming in today for the Deep Convoy with Bright on Mispiration. Please don't mix that. It starts from 6 to 8. Trust me, they are going to talk about everything that is going on in their marriage. Stacey, are you listening to me? I know you are. I think they are going to talk about everything that's going on in their marriage. They're not going to leave anything unturned, any stone unturned. They are going to be right here, right after this show. Keep logged in, and when we come back from the break, Manny Sarpong is going to update us on what is going on in the world of boxing, and also what is going on in the world of athletics, especially the Shanghai the Shanghai League that's happening in Shanghai. So keep logged in. It's a London Afropolitan station. It's a Sports Link Up with me, Kente Kufuor. We'll be right back.
See me, I no get 30 billion. Although but I got so much love to give you. I got so much love to give you. Oh, no. I bless the day I found you. Oh, Lord of mercy. Oh, don't see me who I am, yes, yo.
One time, go.
Many girls them try to come my way. Oh, some fine, some bad, but I swear your time never there. That's why I bless the day I found you.
Let's go.
Oh Lord have mercy. Oh, don't see me who I am, yes, yo.
Mixpiration with Bright every Sunday evening from 6 to 8 p.m. is just fun. It's exciting. It's a mix of contemporary R&B and pop gospel music right here on ABN Radio. Enjoy great themes every Sunday evening with Bright on Mixpiration, a blend of great inspiring songs just for your Sunday evening relaxation. Tune in from 6 to 8 p.m. This and every Sunday, they're on ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station. What do you like for breakfast?
Well, it depends what mood I'm in. If I'm happy, I like a little bit of porridge with banana because I'm feeling healthy. If I'm in a...
Me, I like a bit of fruit. Nice apples, sliced apples.
I love
banana.
a cinnamon and raisin bagel, some scrambled eggs, and a...
I say nice English bit.
Salad, fruit and orange.
I like wholemeal bagel with a bit of cream cheese on it and some bacon and then some avocado. And on the side, I like to have
fried egg with bacon, with baked beans, toast.
I normally take my cocoa. Yeah, I'm a Ghanaian. I'm a typical Ghanaian, so I like my cocoa.
I'm not too sure. I normally don't eat breakfast.
It doesn't matter how you like your breakfast, or you may not like breakfast at all, but you will love the sound of your radio when the breakfast is Afropolitan. Watch out for the new ABN Radio Breakfast Show with Kufuor. ABN Radio, London's Afropolitan radio station.
Extra cups to fill. They've got an awful lot of coffee in Brazil.
Consider that life wasted. Consider the heart of the family ripped apart. Consider the potential never realized. Are these the things you consider when you carry a knife? It's not about street cred or respect. It's about staying alive. Drop that knife and save a life. Quentin Slowly, supporting all family and young people.
ABN Radio, home of Afrobeats.
Got myself a sponsor. Anything me I see the bye-bye. Even though it's older, but I got to survive in this life. Another one who is younger. When I ask for something to cry. Messi va payer me gani bien, on my baby. It's with Rana Joe, but she na coming one. Down beba min chemi soni masema okani sa. Pull it for me, slow down. Mississippi yeah, pull it for me, slow down. Me got ya, and pull it for me, slow down. Mississippi yeah, pull it for me, slow down. Me got ya, mercy, mercy. These burgers have lots of energy. It made me downtown hot, just like oven, but when the morning comes, we not have nothing. A boyfriend who can't buy you food when you're hungry. Is that one too a boy, so I change them, move fast, we shop the lanes. I got myself a sponsor. Let's see my pay, I'm a daddy, yeah, on my baby, yeah. Let's wait, run, I try, but she not coming, kwa. I don't remember me, Chemi, so name was my
Yes, indeed. Welcome back to London's Afropolitan station, ABN Radio UK. Like we said earlier on, you can join in the conversation by calling us on 0208 191 7078 or 0208 670 7300. You can even WhatsApp or text me on 0788 7475 940. You can actually watch us live on YouTube by typing in ABN Radio UK. ABN Radio UK YouTube live, where you can actually see what's happening behind the scenes. Let me just quickly go on to Manny Sarpong. Manny, what is happening in the world of athletics? Should we start boxing?
Yeah, I mean, a lot's happening in boxing at the moment. We're talking about, I mean, right now you can't talk about boxing without mentioning the main promoter at the top of boxing, making everything happen. He's on the verge of taking over the US, and I mean, it doesn't often happen that UK promoters can go to the US and start making demands.
Very good job.
He's doing a fantastic job.
Is it the same person I'm talking?
We are talking about the man himself.
Yeah.
Eddie Hearn.
His dad left him a very good finish, isn't it?
Well, his dad done it. Barry Hearn, who of course football fans will know as the owner of Leyton Orient, or the former owner of Leyton Orient. That's still under dispute going on. But yeah, Eddie Hearn is doing a very good job. He's gone out to the US. He's secured a massive £1 billion endorsement for a streaming service that's going to be streaming all British boxing and all US boxing that are under his staple. Matchroom Boxing.
That is huge.
That's basically, Anthony Joshua. He's the top of the bill.
He's extremely young.
He's very young. He's young and ambitious. I like him very, very much. He's a fantastic guy. He's a great guy to meet. And he knows the business of sport. Yeah. He knows how to market his fighters, and he knows how to take them from Olympic medalists
from the grassroots, isn't it?
To the top. I think he's the main man. Anthony Joshua has done fantastically well, but Eddie Hearn is the man that's really, really propelled Joshua to where he is today. And it's great to have a managing company like somebody, like Matchroom Boxing. So, like he said, if any young fighters out there, they're looking for real promotion, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom Boxing is where you want to be. I mean, you don't want to sound like Should Knight, but should be, with Eddie Hearn.
It looks to me, Manny just doing promotion for Eddie Hearn.
But I mean, we're going to skip off the whole, business of sport at the moment, boxing, and then we're going to go straight into the whole Joshua Wilder. And that was,
is it going to happen?
It was gasoline on flames, over the weekend, because Anthony Joshua, as we know, he's quite active on social media. Yeah. He posted a video of him watching, Luis Ortiz's fight against Deontay Wilder. Right. And, quite a lot of highlights of it. And he was sitting there watching, and he said, "I'm doing my training for the next one." That was the caption. Yeah, that was the caption. And you don't need any more. You don't need somebody to interpret that to you for you. That's more or less saying he's ready for Joshua. He screamed it out at the Principality Stadium that he's ready for Wilder. And Joshua, he wants to fight. It's just about whether or not Wilder's brave enough to come over here.
If the money's right.
I don't think Wilder wants to leave the States. I don't think he wants to actually come over. You don't want to cross the pond.
He's the B-side, in my opinion. I think the A-side is Joshua. If he wants to come and fight and unify the whole division, then he needs to come to the UK.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely needs to come.
He does.
Joshua's got many belts.
Yeah, Joshua's got 3 of the belts.
So if you want it, you've got to come for it.
Okay. And if he does win, if Wilder does win in the UK, then you can come and say, okay, you come to the US, and it can be good for Joshua too. Then for the rematch, this could be a great series of fights.
Definitely. I think Joshua is doing exactly what I want British fighters to do. It's just to put a stop to the US demanding that we have to go there.
Exactly.
I mean,
those days are gone.
Those days are gone. The US, Wilder can't even fill stadiums.
Yes, indeed.
He can't fill arenas on the bums that he's fighting.
Let me give you a funny story.
Luis Ortiz is the biggest fight he's had in his career, and he almost lost that. Exactly. He was saved by the bell in 2 different rounds. So, Wilder, for me, he's a wild card because of the way he fights. He's not an actual boxer. He's a brawler. I think he might trouble Joshua. For me, I don't think Joshua actually has anything to prove by fighting Wilder. If I was Joshua's promoter, I wouldn't really want that Wilder fight, because I don't think. I don't think it's worth it for Joshua. I think Joshua can always sell stadiums and sell arenas.
Fighting to unify the division.
He needs that title.
He needs that title, and it's historic.
But I feel like he can wait. I feel like Joshua can wait. This is the fight. It's kind of like when you're playing video game and you want to get to the last, the last killer or the last villain. I think that can wait. I think the climax can build. Joshua can pick out other fights as well. He got Povkin. He can fight Povkin. So I don't think that Wilder fight is essential, but it looks like he wants it. It looks like he's doing his research as he's posted out, putting it out there. Whether or not Wilder's going to come get his ass kicked, that's entirely
before we come to athletics, Manny, let me ask you on this Joshua and Wilder fight. Look, another name that keeps popping up every now and then, Tyson Fury.
Oh, my man.
Tyson Fury.
I like Tyson Fury. I like Tyson Fury. That's a whole different ballgame, Tyson Fury. See, I think that
he wants a piece of the pie.
I think he can beat Joshua. I fancy Fury against Joshua.
Whoa, that's a big shot.
And you're saying
that's a big shot.
That's saying something because you know how much I love Joshua.
I know how much you love boxing.
I met him before he even went to the Olympics. So I've known him for a long time. And of course, you know, our friend Lawrence Okoli is in his camp as well. So I talk to him a lot. And I like Joshua, but right now I don't think Joshua is in the right capacity to fight someone like Fury. I think Fury is powerful. Fury is a better technical boxer than Joshua is, and I think Fury has he has these antics that he can get under a fighter's skin. He can get under his skin and force them to make mistakes. And I think right now Joshua is still quite. Don't forget, he's only had 20 fights, so he's still a novice. He's still learning his skill. He's still, we saw him switch it up against Joe Parker. Got a bit more technical. But when Joe was starting to slug, he leaves himself too open for me personally. I think he needs to cover himself a little bit more, and technically he needs to work on. He needs to work on his defense and not leave himself.
Tyson's very awkward, though, isn't he?
He's an awkward boxer. That's why. That's the thing. He's an awkward boxer. You don't want an awkward boxer in the ring. I mean, I used to do, as you know, as an amateur boxer. I mean, being in Joshua's position, I would not want to fight Tyson Fury because you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what he's going to do.
And I want to ask you something technically about the fight between the potential fight between Wilder and Joshua, because I think there's two aspects of this fight that could change. First of all, Joshua, can he take a punch? And secondly, I'm going to get to that, don't worry. And secondly, Wilder, he always fights with one hand next to his side. And it feels like if he gets caught by Joshua, it's all over.
Oh, yeah. Wilder showed a lot of weaknesses in that Ortiz fight because there was points where I thought Ortiz would have had him.
Yeah.
Had he had 10 more seconds, Ortiz would have floored.
He got lucky, didn't he?
He got lucky on two different rounds. He got lucky. But Wilder's a heavy puncher. Wilder's he's a heavy puncher. So if he connects, I don't think Joshua's getting up. And the fact that he likes to throw and he likes to brawl, Joshua has to be very careful.
But Joshua likes to brawl as well. We saw him with Dylan White as well. He doesn't shy away from a brawl.
He doesn't shy away from a brawl, but Dylan White is not as heavy a puncher as Wilder is.
If Wilder catches Joshua,
and Wilder throws all these kind of punches that are not even in boxing. He comes at all different angles. I mean, when you get into boxing, right? They teach you 6 different basics, right? You've got the left hook, the right hook, the jab, right jab, and an uppercut.
Yeah.
So you've got 3 different angles on each side that you're coming at. Not Wilder.
He doesn't play from the middle.
Not Wilder. Just comes. So you see him just hopping over referees to try to get
unorthodox. He's very unorthodox.
Wilder is really rough, isn't he?
I want to see Wilder versus Tyson Fury. Give me that fight.
Well, you make it after Joshua Wilder. Who knows?
That's what I want to see. I want to see Tyson Fury versus Wilder. I want to see Shannon Briggs. I want to see. Fair enough. Tony Bellew's proven himself now, beating David Haye.
Let's go, champ.
Yeah, he's proven himself. He's beating David Haye, who's on his way out anyway.
David Haye's on the way out.
He's on his way out.
Yeah.
So I want to see Tony Bellew, who's a much smaller heavyweight.
All right.
I want to see him fight some of the heavyweights in the division.
Can he take a punch?
Okay, man. Listen, now my time is fast spent. My time is fast spent. Let me just give you probably about a minute or two to just bring us up to speed what's happening in athletics.
Oh, it's interesting. You're just gonna have to keep waiting. You're just gonna have to keep waiting. Interested. You're gonna have to tune in next week, and we're gonna have all the roundup, all the updates for you on what's going on in the Shanghai League.
But listen, before we even wait till next week, I learned one of the British athletes 100 meters against one of the top athletes in the world.
So they say.
All right. Listen, I would like to thank both of you gentlemen for coming on the show. And also, before we go, let me just give you the last word, Ahmed. Whom do you like to see taking over at the Emirates Stadium?
It's a difficult one. A lot of
names keep popping up. Allegri, Tete, Ancelotti.
Exactly.
And also,
Monaco's manager.
Forget about the Monaco's manager. Apparently, Jose Mourinho is number 2.
Oh,
why would Jose Mourinho be number 2?
No, Jose Mourinho is number 2. He's number 2. I've left the club.
He's assistant manager. Yeah.
So has Jurgen Klopp's number 2.
Everyone's assistant manager's going. What's going on?
As soon as the Emirates job came available, they all go.
As gone. It's free for all. It's a battle royale for the Arsenal position.
If we're talking seriously, I think Arsene Wenger's left a very decent front line of Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Ozil. And most people say that's borderline world class. Maybe just outside.
But the new manager that comes, you need to do a complete wholesale of players.
Someone that knows the club. Maybe Patrick Vieira. In my opinion,
will he come back from?
Possibly. But if you want a world class manager, Luis Enrique showed at Barcelona that he
wants a big pay pocket. He wants big money.
He was a big.
He wants big money now.
Big money. If he's not Arsene Wenger, he won't settle for 50 million every transfer window.
There you go.
You're gonna back him. You got to back him with 200 million, and then you may compete next season. But I predict good things for Arsenal next season. Possibly.
All right, Manny. The Premier League has ended today.
Sad times.
Look, sad times for everybody. Sad time for everybody.
This is when people cancel their Sky Sports subscription.
But listen, man, let me ask you. I know my time is fast. Right now, did this year's Premier League live up to your expectation?
Oh yeah, fantastic and more. Absolutely.
What should we expect next year?
Next season is going to be more competition. I don't think any one team's going to run away with the league as they have done. I think it's going to be a take for tack next season. You can see Chelsea's going to be coming back in there in the run for it. Man United are definitely going to be challenging City more. It'll still be a 1-2 finish for the Manchester club.
I disagree with the Chelsea part, but I think Liverpool, Manchester City will fight it out. Man United will just about get third. Hopefully they get first because I'm a United fan, but Liverpool look very, very good. Very good.
All right, gentlemen, let me just say a big thank you to you. Manny Sarpong, a big thank you to you. It's always a pleasure having you on the show. And also my favorite, I suppose, I don't even know how to describe you. Ahmed Osman.
My friend, thank you so much for having me.
African expert, Premier League expert. Thank you very much. And Manny, boxing, Premier League, he's got everything covered. Gentlemen, once again, a very thank you to you. And also, if you just listen to us, thank you very much for your company. Same time next week here on London's Afropolitan Station.
World Cup special.
ABN Radio UK. Sports Link Up Africa with me, Kente. And coming up straight after me is Inspiration with Bright and his guests. Stay tuned. Same time next week. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Oh my God.
If you want to go make you mine, if you want to go love you die, anything you want, baby, say I go buy. So if you want to go make you mine, me de makumama winti fa. One drum ni eti sorry sa. Hey, I'm a sukra, I'm a domo. Adi abena.